guy who made a version of Accidentally in Love, but it's about eating pot brownies by accident.
Oh no. Well, hello everybody.
Cheese tax.
We be live. Oh, I've seen the cheese tax one. That one's
you
funny.
Get the cheese. Cheese tax.
Kayla, would you be able to bump your volume up a smidge?
No.
Thank you.
Oh my.
Well, hello everybody, and welcome to Fools and Flagons, a tabletop campaign. Yeah, so sprechen towards the microphone, which mine is here. So
I'm trying.
Hurry. Tales of Archeron. The Tales of Archeron is a campaign made up entirely by me, where my players do amazingly stupid things, and I try to make sense of it.
Oh, I got a Folgers ad.
Nice.
Best part of waking up is having an incest commercial.
What?
I was about to say something too, but that's what I was gonna
y'all
say.
Don't know about that commercial?
No!
Mitchell,
No,
do you know
Kayla.
about that commercial?
It vaguely sounds familiar.
Okay, so Folgers
Kayla.
had, it was back in the 90s, Folgers had a commercial where the girl was like waiting for her brother to
Yep.
come home from the
Yep.
army, but the way that they filmed it made it seem like they were together, and it was so fucking weird. I mean, it was a
You
very
miss your
romantic.
brother. Do you
Happy
miss your
St.
brother
Patrick's Day.
Extra.
Happy St. Patrick's Day!
Happy Lee Ferguson Day.
In honor of St. Patrick's Day, this is the first time I'm ever DM'd with alcohol, so we'll see how tonight goes. So, on top of that, does anyone else have any sort of random little nuggets of information to share?
Yeah.
Cheese
Banner
tax.
Zavala died. Sad about it.
Yeah.
So sad.
Lance Riddick passed away.
Yeah.
Sad days.
If you're gonna be at the Tampa Bay Ren Fair, I'm gonna be there with Issa.
I half expected Issa to just Kool-Aid man her way into the room like, ha
Oh yeah.
So, well, happy birthday to the family. So, this campaign is streamed live every other Friday on Twitch. The alternating Fridays, we have Zeke's campaign, which we're calling Storm King's Chaos. And it has been living up to the name. Unfortunately, we weren't able to do it the last week. A number of our players were out. Oh, there's the Kool-Aid man.
Kool-Aid.
I got sprayed.
Yay!
Purple
Uh,
Kool-Aid. I like purple Kool-Aid.
The
Purple flavor.
podcast and the VOD of all of our D&D campaigns will be up the week after they are live on Twitch, on our YouTube channel, and on most major podcasting platforms. iTunes, Spotify, Podbean, iHeartRadio, Samsung Radio, and Pandora are just a few. I think we're part of like 30 different platforms that we're on, so we're out there if you want to listen to us.
We're overachievers.
Do my due diligence.
Somewhere
No.
out there.
In a multiverse, Zeke is actually funny. Ah, that was mean. I'm sorry. Bye, Zeke.
I'm gonna go get some aloe vera real quick. Zeke's gonna need it for that burn.
And there's a thumbnail screenshot.
It's fucking unhinged already.
Yep.
Alrighty, so
It's a day. So on top of streaming the campaign, we also have Pez Plays on Tuesdays. We've been a little bit slacking on that recently. It's just been a weird couple of weeks. And we do also have Metallurgy Magic. We've been doing that a fair bit more often recently. I believe tomorrow, and Metal may be able to correct me if he's listening in on the chat, I think we're going to be doing some Ultimate Chicken Horse. So
What? I'm missing it.
we have that to look forward to tomorrow. If you do really like what we do and you would like to support us, please consider our coffee channel, or coffee page. You can find us at coffee.com/fools&flagons. The donations are never required but always appreciated, and all proceeds from donations and memberships go straight back into keeping Fools and Flagons a much better experience. And it very much helps keep the podcast alive and well. So we do also want to thank you for those of you watching us live. We want to thank you for your follows, subscriptions, and bits on Twitch. We do apologize that we can't acknowledge those during the stream just to keep with the flow of the story. But some of these chuckleheads, when they're not paying attention, may be watching chat and they may interact with you and stuff.
Always pay attention. What the fuck are you talking about?
I don't.
we don't want to interrupt the flow of the game.
Mm.
Yeah.
You're one to talk about flow of the game, bitch.
Yeah, that was an attack. Wow.
Bitch.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Spicy mood.
Well, so some of us are going to be at the Tampa Ren Fair. Some of us are going to be in PAX this coming next week. So
Impacts.
we have a flow.
Packs of what?
Dumb.
These nuts.
Alrighty. So with that being said, does anyone else have anything they would like to announce or talk about? Nope. Cool. Then grab your drinks and raise your glasses. It's time for Fools and Flagons.
Oh.
Wow, the enthusiasm.
I'm scared.
Whoa!
Appreciate it.
We're halfway there.
How to get white people lit. So, to get you all back up to speed on what happened during the last action-packed session, Vanera had a meeting with Otis to discuss the recent lapse in godly reception and Brick's performance issues. Otis
Magical
was
dysfunction.
fairly unhelpful in this regard, apart from revealing that the activation of the Kadali Ruins hovering over the bay occurred roughly at the same time. To Vanera's mild annoyance, Otis's attention was shifted to transport the Tempests to the Aztlan Empire, halfway across the world upon the request from Brick to visit his creators, Borgir and Chimali. Within the legendary smithing halls of Chichimec, Brick learned through his creators that they had been successful in creating another version of him, but regretted to inform him that his current core would not last under the stress he put on it. Though they assured him he would not die, his magic would eventually cease to function. A difficult task now lay ahead of the Tempests, where they would be required to gather the required materials in the Tepetl Mountains that would allow Borgir and Chimali to create a newer, more robust power core. Otis then brought the party back to Harpermere, where they acted as bodyguards for the royal family during the arrival of Emperor Decimus of the Roman Empire. During the dignitary's arrival, Princess Anna was struck by a large crossbow bolt that pinned her to the docks. After some quick healing and a frantic chase, Kasumi managed to turn the attacker into a jade statue using her legendary weapon, Basaito. We now rejoin the Tempests as Brick carries the jade statue perpetrator to the castle at King Damien's request. Let's go with this.
I forgot about Sirenscape.
I was about to say, Sirenscape just sounds like the Wii menu music.
Computer, it's there.
Computer status report.
Sometimes
You're an
I don't
idiot!
wanna find it. It's so fucking weird. How
I've
the
just
fuck do you
been
spell
using the web-
Sirenscape?
Just Syrin. It's like syringe, but without the nj.
I keep spelling it
Syringe.
Siren
Ah,
Siren instead of Sir. Sir.
Syrin.
We're organized.
To turn everyone up so I can drown out the fucking dog that's being a baby and crying.
I don't hear it.
So, you all are currently marching up the steps towards the castle, through the courtyard, around the front garden of the main castle courtyard, and eventually King Damien leads you into the entryway, the grand hall of the Harpermere Castle. Once inside, the various legionnaires and royal guards of the Harpermere Kingdom spread out, make a sort of semicircle, interspersing themselves evenly between their counterparts as the giant Leonin Emperor comes and plants his hammer down. You're not even really sure when he grabbed the hammer or when it appeared. When you saw him coming off the ship, he wasn't carrying anything. Now the head lands heavily on the floor with a resounding thud that echoes through the high vaulted ceiling. King Damien walks into the center, points at the ground, gesturing to you, Brick. I just set him down there. We'll send for... give me a as I try to find my place, because I lost it. Set him down there, and we'll send for Godric. See if we can't bring him back.
Carefully sets him down. You said what type of room are we in?
You're in the main throne room, the great hall. Like as soon as you first open the large double doors, it's just a straight shot to the thrones.
Okay.
Zan's gonna take his sword and touch the ground with it. It's like sees if it makes the large sound like the hammer does, and just like when it doesn't, he's just gonna shake his head and put it back.
Yeah, as you're setting it down gently, Brick, you just hear like a tink, 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 tink.
Brick's gonna take out the spell sword and not activate it, but just kind of have it in his hand.
Okay. So everyone else around just sees Brick holding the hilt of a sword.
Shouldn't we perhaps, restrain the statue to where when it's no longer a statue, that it's restrained?
Vanera, she who shall not be named, is yelling at me that your thing is here.
Yes.
Okay.
Butter. It's butter.
That's where I ran to. Sorry, I didn't want to leave it outside.
That's fine. The king kind of looks up at you, and you even hear a deep rumbling chuckle from the emperor standing a short ways away. And he kind of looks around the room, and you're all completely surrounded by bodies.
Well,
He was really fast.
well, you bring up a good point, Kasumi, but if you really think about it, he is an assassin, and on occasion assassins do have some things on their persons that they were used to take their own life. So...
Or can teleport,
if he
turn
would have been
invisible.
I was about to say, he would have done both of those while we were chasing him if he could.
I mean, I'm just saying, it was not easy to catch him, and I'm not sure I want to go on another chase.
But how about this? When we end up figuring out if we can save him, just have Rick hold his hands. Well, but the wrists.
Okay.
I was gonna go for the hair. People don't like it when you grab their hair.
Some people do.
I will not talk about this topic.
To that.
Wow.
Is this more of the fighting but not fighting thing?
Yes, Brick. Yes.
Got it.
See, I
While
don't
you
have
all
hair.
are discussing
I don't have to
this,
worry about that.
King Damien has gone to one of the guards and has given them instructions, and you see one of their number runs out through the hall, and as soon as he leaves the circle, they close in and are just shoulder to shoulder all the way around. Kind of looks back over at you all, and he says, "You're welcome to bind his hands if you wish to try, but I don't know how successful you'd be with him in this current state." And his hands aren't exactly close together. He's kind of, posed funny at the moment.
What if we remove all of his fingers?
I wouldn't recommend trying to break the statue.
And he might bleed to death very quickly. To be fair, then he's not a statue anymore if he's not a statue anymore.
Oh, I was referring to if you try to break a statue and it decides the spider web split.
Let's just wait for the whoever they sent for.
All I know is it's a shiny rock and I want a piece of it.
No. If it's not a shiny rock anymore, you'll be holding onto a human body part.
Gross.
Exactly. Well, I'm kind of used to it, but yeah.
Unless someone here is able to undo what has been done, we must wait for Godric.
Yeah, I turn to look at Zahn and Vanera.
Can I have my frills just undulate a little bit more as they're still waving and cast dancing lights, like.
I mean, DM, I do have remove curse.
You can certainly try, both of you.
I mean, would you really want to waste such a curse on this guy?
You mean remove such a curse?
Would you really want to waste a spell like that on this guy?
Well, let's see what Godric can do, and if he cannot, then we will.
It is around this point that King Damien is peering down at the figure, and he has a look of concern on his face. He beckons over to another higher-ranking guard and beckons him to come over. Kind of leans in, whispers to him.
Whisper.
Vanera.
Yes.
1 second.
I only got perfume and it smells so good.
Sorry. I just texted you the captions that you would hear as he whispered to the guard through the cup of captions.
Ah.
So that guard then takes off once more, disappears for a little bit. As he's looking down at the statue, he seems to be staring at the emblem that's on his chest. And he looks up at the rest of you. I'll be honest, thank you for helping save me daughter and capturing this lowlife here. Did you see anything else? Anything of import?
When I was finally able to restrain him and the smoke cleared, which I think is I'm still trying to get rid of, but he was trying to climb down into the vents. Like, not the vent, the sewer system.
I see. It is concerning. But we will come to the bottom of that sooner rather than later, I hope. Was that all?
That's all I can think of. I don't know if you guys saw anything else. I was kind of tunnel vision.
It was on a roof for the most part of.
I mean, I was trying to help save a life.
I appreciate it.
I assume that your men scouting the area have already found such, but I remember my owl familiar seeing the crossbow mounted on the roof. So this was definitely...
As soon as you say that, he snaps his fingers again, and another guard comes up to him. And he says, "You, take 3, investigate." And he bows his head, does a sharp little salute, takes off. They as well. And he grabs 2 more on the way out.
Correct me if my memory's wrong, Ian, but it was like mounted to the roof.
It was a very large mounted crossbow.
Right. So I'll relay. Like it was bolted to the roof, so they knew when, where, and had to have got it up there somehow.
It is concerning indeed, as this now seems to be the second time my daughter was targeted.
Wait, second?
I'll actually
sorry,
pull
man,
out.
you weren't there for that. The poisoning.
I'll actually pull out the poison bottle, which I've forgotten to this point. Vanera, do you have scrying available at this moment?
No.
Another time.
I go over, touch the jade dude.
You touch him, he feels like a stone statue.
Remove curse.
You begin the motions, speaking the magic words, and you hear like thunk, 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 as all the guards just ready everything that they've got. Nothing seems to happen.
Just look at Kasumi. That's a nasty artifact.
Yeah, I wasn't sure that I was gonna be able to do it. It was kind of cool and shocking. He's got a symbol on his chest. Does that mean any significance?
Unfortunately, it does. And it worries me. Worries me greatly, but I do not wish to point fingers where it is undue.
DM, can I take a look at the symbol and search my memory banks?
You can certainly try. You see, because all of it is jade, it's more of a pattern than colors. So the pattern that you see at the moment is well, it was blue. It's no longer blue. It's now a very beautiful emerald green. You see on the front of it, it is a rat rowing a dinghy.
18.
18. You have no recollection of this design.
Well, the reason I asked that question is given the fact that you still want us to help guard her in the upcoming events. It would be helpful to know if the symbol is for a group that you are aware of and know where they are or where they are often seen or how they often appear.
He sort of raises his hand and kind of gives you like a slow down sort of gesture. All will be explained once Wharfmaster gets here and we can get to the bottom of this. I do promise I am not withholding information unduly. I just do not wish to send people on a wild goose hunt and blame people that do not need to be persecuted so.
That's a goose.
He kind of looks at you in confusion with your fucking floaty frills. It is a big bird. A waterfowl.
Oh, food. Okay.
He
Well,
kind of like... I don't think I've tried goose before.
But pets, to be completely honest with you, they are food, but they're also big assholes.
No, those are the Canadian ones.
Regardless, they are usually not friendly.
Huh. So, some time passes, and the first guard that had been sent off to fetch the one named Godric, you see them bringing in behind them a blue-skinned dragonborn, appears to be male, is wearing similarly a similar blue garb, and around his neck he's got a yellow scarf with a symbol in kind of bronze attached to it. And as they are let through the little crowd, the king waves them on and says, Godric, if you will, is there anything you can do for this unfortunate fellow? You see the Dragonborn kind of steps up, looks at him, tilts his head to one side and the other, goes, well, I've never seen anything quite like that before. Might I ask what happened to him?
I shot him.
You shot him?
Yeah. And for a second, she like looks around at the guards around her, and she just very slowly grabs just the bow, like no arrows,
just like
with this.
Interesting. It appears much like the petrification one gets from several nasty creatures, but I don't think I've ever seen it green before. I can certainly try a greater restoration, Your Majesty, if you wish. Kind of, the king looks from Godric to the rest of you, and if we are prepared to restrain him with less severe...
Zon's gonna snap his fingers and look at Brick and immediately point at the dude.
Brick's just gonna hover a hand over his head.
If your guards won't mind, I'd gladly draw a bow and be standing in front of him when he awakens.
I have a gun.
Then my assumption is correct that everyone in here is prepared to handle this fine fellow once he is taken care of and brought back to us. So, Godric, if you would, please. It's around this time that more commotion coming from the doorway as the guards, Vanera, that you overheard him sending off, bring back the wharf master. And he looks mad. And just kind of sweaty and just seems generally irritable. And he kind of shoulders his way through the guards and stands there, arms folded over his barrel-like chest.
This is the dwarf who seemed interested in us, right?
Yes.
At the banquet?
Yes,
Okay.
This is Wharf Master Brim. So the Dragonborn cleric begins to cast the spell, and as he finishes it and he places his hand on the man's chest, you see the green begins to fade away, the fabric coming back to their normal colors. The body doesn't really seem to move at first. As the arms and all get released, they slump down to the ground. It isn't until all of the green has completely disappeared that the man takes in a sharp, ragged breath, as if the magic just punched his heart back into working order. And he begins hacking and coughing and wheezing. And all of you hear from yourself and around just swords being drawn, the metal leaving scabbard, shields and leather rustling as grips on the handles of their weapons are being held tighter. All the while, this man is laying there, trying to catch his breath again.
As soon as I hear him kind of like start to take those normal breaths, I grab him by the hair and pull him up. And onto his knees again.
Oh, easy, why?
Kasumi's still
Where?
bow drawn, pointed right at him.
He kind of like bleary-eyed looks up at Kasumi and sees that bone and goes, "Oh, not again."
Don't give me a reason to.
You best sing like the birds.
Vanera, you're...
It's not a truth.
Okay. Man, that's a lot of people within that. What's the range on it?
60 feet?
The range or the diameter?
16 feet by 15 feet?
Let me check that real quick, just so I'm making sure my math is right.
Range is 60, area is 15 feet.
Yeah, 15
So
sphere.
it's a 30-foot sphere.
It's a sphere. A circle.
Um,
A zone.
A zone!
So I need all of you,
Yeah.
to make charisma saving throw. What's the DC, Vanera? What's your spell save DC?
I fail.
16.
16.
Not a too strong start today.
Nom nom nom.
Success,
Nom, 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 nom,
success.
I was this close to being a nat 20. It was this close.
It's too bad.
That's too damn bad.
Nom 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 nom. Nom nom nom.
Okay. All right. So, let me see. So, Vanera, you were able to tell that Godric, the king, the emperor, they have all passed. They are not affected by the spell. The man is definitely under the effects of the spell. The rest of you? So, Brick is under the
Fail.
effects.
I got an 11.
Brick, tell me your deepest, darkest secrets.
So, Brick, Kasumi,
I got a 6.
Yeah.
Pez.
What? Wait.
18.
Oh shit.
So Pez can lie. Vanera, did you make a saving throw? Because you're in it too.
Oh, do I need to?
Yeah.
It says a creature that enters the spell's area.
Oh, I wasn't.
Yeah, you can cast Zone of Truth on yourself.
Oh,
No, I was just walking up to him and casting it. I wasn't stepping in.
Well, you.
But it's a 30-foot radius. So
Well,
if you're...
so I'm not thinking that he's the center of origin, I'm thinking that he's on the edge. That's where it's starting. So yeah, I can.
I mean, if you want to be outside of it, you absolutely can. I mean, you can be like 60 feet away and go, yeet! It's over there.
Oh yeah, I'll do that.
Okay, so you want to stay out of it?
Yeah.
You want to lie? Okay.
Yeah.
Fear of heart, my ass.
Yep.
All right. So Vanera and Pez can still lie. Everyone else, you have to tell the truth whenever a question is being asked of you. If you choose to answer, it's not forcing you to answer. You just cannot lie. So, with that being said, the man kind of comes back as being manhandled by Brick, which is a weird oxymoron because he's not a man.
Brick handled.
Brick handled.
Is this dude a man? I'll look at his
Yes.
ears. Is he half elf?
No,
Human?
he's a man.
Okay.
Yeah.
He's a muppet of a man.
He's kind of looking just scared and a bit ragged, and feels that the spell has come down around him, and he just looks around, sees the situation he's in, and just zips it. The king walks up, kind of bends down, hands on his knees. I'm only going to give you one option. And you're going to tell me why you tried to take me daughter's life. So, speak up. Actually, let me do a... The man kind of sits there and kind of gets a very resolute look on his face and just says nothing.
I cast command.
What's the word?
Respond.
What's the save on this?
I'm pretty sure it's a 17.
Pretty sure, or it is?
My spell DC is 17, so yeah,
Okay.
17.
Sprechen.
Shit. You can see him struggling, trying his best to keep his mouth shut. But he, because of your spell and the failure, I was commanded to, with the threat of me daughter. And you see him just kind of like go wide and be like fuck, shit. Like, he's kind of panicking at this point.
More cowards.
Please, don't ask me questions. It could get me daughter killed. You could do whatever you want to me, just don't make me talk.
Vanera's gonna look at the king. This is the second child that has been threatened.
He leans up, folds his arms, and has a very worried look on his face. Aye, that is. Whoever's attempting this is not playing fair.
Is there a trafficking issue in your city?
Not that I am aware of. And he kind of, at this point, is when he notices Wharfmaster Brim. Wharfmaster, he like beckons him forward and points at the gentleman. And you see Wharfmaster kind of look at him, and his eyebrows just like shoot up, his eyes go wide, and he looks at the king. King Damien kind of nods to him and goes, if you wouldn't mind checking. He goes, Oi, my liege. And he just turns, and he looked annoyed before. He is like stomping out of the throne room and like throws one of the doors open. And like, he's a small little dwarf, and it's a big door, and he throws it open.
I was about to say, small little door. He's a dwarf. I'm like, yeah, but he's a fucking dwarf.
Brick's gonna look at the king and say, I'm guessing one of the Wharf Master's employees is who we have here?
Not precisely. He kind of looks at the man, and there's a hint of a brief moment of compassion, almost. He snaps his fingers, and points at another trio of guards. Come, strip him of his belongings. Take him to the jail cells. Take him to the dungeon.
Wait, before you take him, Kasumi looks at him, still bowed, drawn and pointed at him.
By the way, when she pulls this string back, she doesn't use an arrow. There's a jade stone thing that appears, so it's glowing and it looks.
You mentioned if you were to answer any more questions that your daughter would be harmed. But last you were seen outside of the kingdom, or outside of the castle, you were a jade statue. So, if they were outside, they would assume you were dead. Are you implying that they might be here in this castle currently?
He is still under the effects of command.
Command is for one action.
Yeah, he already responded.
It's for one round.
Which
Well,
is
then
6 seconds.
technically a round.
Yeah, one round's
okay.
a couple seconds.
If he doesn't answer, I'll make him. See what I'll try.
He looks at you and just has this pleading look. Please don't ask me any questions. I don't know if they know. I didn't like the feel I got off of them. At that point, he just locks up again.
So, I am curious. So if you are worried, we have a zone of truth here. King Damien, you could always have every single god enter the zone of truth and answer if they are the big fat traitor.
Only lasts for 10 minutes, silly.
You can have some answers his own very quickly.
From who?
All of the gods around us.
I'm gonna look at Kasumi.
You have no idea.
I'm gonna look at Kasumi. Can you do a quick detect magic and see if there's anything in this room that is not normally visible?
I unfortunately can't do that. I don't have that ability.
Do you not have?
can.
I thought you had detect magic. Sorry.
No.
I do!
Either a see invisibility or detect magic to see if anything lights up that you can't actually see.
My anti-disguise goggles see anything? Because I've never taken them off. I mean, they're welded to my face hole.
Everyone appears to be normal. So, as you were all discussing this,
I was trying to kind of keep it hush just to make sure.
Regardless,
Yeah.
from a direction, sort of high up in the air, a thin green beam of light streaks down and strikes the man in the chest. There's a brief moment of silence as his body begins to disintegrate in Brick's hand.
Dead.
There's a soft gasp from the man. And Brick, before you know it, you're holding nothing. And immediately, in the brief couple moments of silence, everyone is turned, looking in every single direction. And you see, high up in the throne room, there is a window that was opened.
Mortar.
You send Mortar outside, make a perception check.
Come on, little buddy, come on.
While he's making this check, Zan's gonna look at where the body was. That was pretty cool.
That was a
Fucked
disintegration spell. 22.
22. You see nothing. Mortar sees nothing.
Is it just a
Is
window?
Otis in the room?
Otis is not in the room.
Can I
I cast detect magic?
You can. You cast the spell, and there is an immediate flaring from your companions, of course. Some of the guards have magical items on them, especially the higher ranked ones. The Emperor himself, it's kind of hard to look at him. He's just a glow, like a very, very bright light in your vision right now. There is a scurrying as the king is shouting. The Emperor himself is just sort of standing there looking at where the body had been. Orders are being thrown. Soldiers and guards are running out the front of the throne room. The king is again surrounded by armored personnel. The five of you are basically the only ones not being worried about and protected at this point in time. Even Godric has people surrounding him. As the throne room just becomes pure and utter chaos.
Oops, sorry.
The window that we see is open. Is that like on a different level? Like, is there a balcony there?
It's hard to see from where you are.
Okay.
Because you're inside. From the angle that the beam had come from, you're just able to look up and you see that there's just shutters that are slightly open higher up.
Okay, but it's not like there's a balcony with like a window on the wall behind it.
No, it just seems like a higher window that is open up above.
And Mortar can't like scoot out and get outside, can he?
Oh, he can.
Okay, he is. So he's outside and just.
But he's not able to. He sees nothing.
I'm wondering.
This makes no sense.
When we had the encounter with that shadow entity, the one that was...
Steel Scholar?
Yes, but remember we encountered it a second time?
We encountered a minion, not it.
Well, that thing... Was there any, like, residue or thing that was left over from it? Because I know it was like a big cloud of dust and smoke, basically.
So as you mentioned this creature, I had to roll to see what Zahn would do. Like, no, Zahn just really steps back. Like, look, there's an area that I can stand that no one will bother me in over here. I'm gonna move over there.
Okay, so
the king, surrounded by his guards who seem to be trying to usher him out of the room, goes, "Just wait a damn moment. Tempests! Go to the dark side, brothel. Look for the wharf master. Let them know what you've seen." Oh shit, hold on, I forgot his name. Give me one quick second. Where the fuck? Speak to Mefto. And then at that point, he is ushered out of the throne room. And again, the five of you are kind of left to your own devices. The guards and legionnaires are far more interested in protecting the Emperor, who, for the longest time, was just sort of staring at the spot where the person had been disintegrated, and he eventually looked up towards the window. Didn't say anything, and eventually he thumped away, following after where the king had been shuffled off to.
What was the guy's name again?
Mefto.
Oh, Mefto.
Mefto. Some of you have met him already.
I remember.
Oh, wait a minute. Is that the brothel dude?
Yeah, it's the brothel guy that you chatted up.
Yeah.
So he's not a wharf master, or we were needed to go see the wharf master to go to the Dark Tide brothel?
I think that he's there at the brothel.
Yep. So,
just between the bunch of us, I don't trust that super emperor fluffbutt, whatever he is.
Nim, can you turn yourself up just a smidgen?
Hello.
Thank you.
I'm gonna look around. Is there any... The king's gone. Is there any other important member of that banquet that we went to that's present?
No, the throne room had been empty. All the people that had been at the banquet or the dinner the couple days prior, they had all been down at the docks with everyone, the citizenry, you, the royal family. None of them are back in the throne room at the moment.
Okay. This doesn't make sense.
Or does it?
Dun, dun, dun.
Because that was a... Brick's voicing all this out loud. That was a disintegration spell. If they're not after the king, which doesn't make any fucking sense. Because if you want to destabilize a region, quickest way to do it is to kill the person in charge. Especially when you have someone as... I mean, I like the guy, but he doesn't exactly seem leadership material in that he wants to run off and do his own thing. But he's next in line for the throne. Seems to me that would be a perfect way to destabilize something. But they're after the princess, and they refuse to get their own hands dirty. So why is the wedding happening? What does the kingdom get? What does the person getting married to the princess get? Why? We're missing the why.
I mean, I'm pretty sure they're just in love, because that's how weddings work, right?
For royalty? No.
Not always.
Huh.
We gotta get to the
That's how it
wharf master,
works
and he
down
might be able to
south.
tell us. Brick's already walking out the door.
Okay. You guys following after Brick?
Do I see anything else?
You can make a perception check.
Perception. 19.
19. The temptation to say you see a boot, but no, there is nothing left. The disintegration ray was very thorough.
No other words?
Oh, you see very faint, smaller words, but they're getting smaller and smaller, and you kind of judge that they're from the king and the guards. You hear the occasional shout from outside that gets put up in your vision, but nothing of the same that you had seen prior. And this cuff of captions, it translates it roughly into common, but incantations don't generally always make sense. It's not quite a language, if that makes sense. Yeah. It's not like when you're saying, it's like bacon, lettuce, onion, go. It's sort of gibberish.
Our powers combined! The BLT exists!
The BLT ray! So, Brick has begun heading out with a purpose. Vanera took a little bit more time to peer around the area. Not able to see much else.
As we're walking, can I attune to my cloak and reattune to my detector's notes?
Attunement takes an hour, and you need to be sitting still. It's not something you can really do while you're on the move.
Ugh.
You can blech me all you want. It's how it works. Alright. So, heading to dockside?
Yep.
Is it called Dockside or Darkside?
To the
To
the dark side.
Dock side. As in the side of a dock, but dockside.
What's the brothel called then?
That.
Another detail I want to point out, just in case someone else can put the piece together better than I can. Both attempts were the first attempt was mildly public. It had important officials and everything. Second attempt was very public. These aren't like in her bedroom or like when she's alone. They're trying to be seen.
Or are they?
Well, I mean, psychological warfare is one way to destabilize the economy and all that. I said a lot of big words.
To take down the patriarchy.
Birds are lies.
I also kind of realized that I was playing very chipper music for the seriousness of what was happening.
You were.
I was here for it.
So, as you all begin heading down towards the dockside brothel, which I don't believe that Vanera or Kasumi were there before, is that correct?
I don't think Pez was either.
I was just breaking on myself that one.
Yeah.
Because us ladies went shopping.
Yep. I am honorary, ladies.
You are an honorary bag holder.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So, as you were all walking down towards the dockside, sort of retracing your steps just to be able to get to the docks, along the way you appeared to be coming upon the guards that the king had sent off on whatever mission he had sent them on before. You see two of them are shouldering the large crossbow that Brick had seen. And Zahn, you probably ran past it. I don't remember if you actually rolled a perception to see that or not. But you very likely would have been able to see that on your vaulting escapade. While two of them are carrying that on their shoulders, the other one seems to be carrying the splintered off bolt and some other little pouch. Definitely doesn't look like it's part of his very clean, guardly garb.
What's the pouch?
You're asking one of the guards?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. He kind of stops for a second and goes, I don't know, it was on the roof, caught in one of the tiles, so I nicked it.
May I? As I hold out a hand.
You see him kind of look at one of the ones carrying the crossbow, and he kind of like, yeah, sure, and he sets it down, kind of
happy to get
panting.
A break.
Yes, he's like, thank you. So he hands you the bag. You open it up, and you see inside of it, it's filled with dried meat. There's a small knife, some flint and steel. Looks very much like things that a hunter would have in the wilderness. There is also a piece of paper folded up inside of it.
I'll kind of flip open the paper to see if anything's written on it.
On the piece of paper is a very fluid and delicate handwriting. It details the day of the delegate's arrival. You also see a drawing of the symbol that was emblazoned on the chest. It says that it's part of the Thieves Guild. It is the crest of the Thieves Guild here. And beneath that is written a reminder that his success in silence determines whether little Vivienne lives to see another season.
The rat in the dinghy? Was it a big symbol, or was it like a little symbol on his chest?
It was on a tabard. Like, you've got your normal coat and everything, and just, like, poncho sans poncho.
Yeah.
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 What's it say? Kasumi asks.
He just kind of hands it off. Looks like we're gonna go see a member of the Thieves Guild, and Brick keeps walking.
Kasumi's gonna look to see if there's possibly any thieves' cant on here.
Make an investigation check.
Okay.
Glad I handed that to you.
It contains the secret formula.
No! Plankton!
Oh, sure, don't spoil it!
You said investigation?
Yes.
While I'm waiting for D&D Beyond to catch up with me.
Ravioli, give me the formula.
That is a 19.
A 19. You give it a very, very thorough look over. There's no real note of any sort of thieves' cant. There's you check the wording multiple times, you check the drawing, you flip it to the back, you hold it up to the sunlight to see if there's any trickery as the light filters through the parchment.
Mm-hmm.
It just seems like a normal piece of paper.
Okay. Kasumi is now just going to become very attentive to any of the buildings that we're walking by and just kind of look for any abnormal markings or what could seem like a weird graffiti.
Got it.
So she's just going to try to basically be constant scanning for any possible thieves' cant signs.
Okay. Make a perception check for me.
Okay.
As you all are, I'm assuming you're following after Brick now, who's soldiering onward again.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hey, Kasumi.
Nat one.
Oh.
No.
Wait, silvery barbs! Silvery barbs!
No. I don't think I can do that to myself.
I know. Just be a dick.
I would say that you're trying to look around at the buildings, but you keep getting your eyes drawn back to the paper to doubly make sure that there's nothing on it, and you kind of just forget to look.
Hey, Kasumi.
Uh-huh.
Aren't you part of that guild that steals things?
No. I've never been part of a thieves' guild.
Huh.
I just know of them because I've encountered them in my time, but I've never been personally part of one.
Interesting.
Zon, can you move your microphone over? Because you're a little quiet as well.
As I've mentioned
Thanks,
before,
bud.
the only times that I used to take things, I would always leave a symbol showing that I was the one that blatantly did it. And I would always give the item back because it was just a game to me.
Like fetch?
Zon's gonna break out laughing.
You
Pets called her a dog.
I'm not familiar with this game, Fetch.
I mean, I can show you with hamburger.
And I'd just like take out a coin and yeet it.
Go get it.
You say that to Hamburger?
Yeah.
He jumps off your shoulder and just like chicken flaps until he lands on the ground and just like takes off, Naruto running after it. He kind of, you know how like when the dog sort of like misses the mark when he's trying to get it? He does that and kind of goes like ass over tail feathers, like fumbles to a stop, gets back up, grabs it, and he runs right back to Pez. He's a little bit dirty, but he looks proud of himself.
Yes, Kasumi, have you ever done that before?
No. It was more of I would happen upon something that seemed interesting to me. And if I deemed it worth taking for my game, I would. And I would basically test my abilities to do it without them noticing while I was still there. It was fun for a while. Only a few people were annoyed by it, but I always gave them their stuff back.
Sounds like a fun game. I could get behind that.
Don't take my stuff.
Okay.
Makes a note to take all these stuff.
I want to note in another campaign, I stole the rogue's pants. Do not tempt me.
Yeah, brag about it. Why don't you?
No, it's more of an empty threat.
Moving on.
So,
Do we,
anything else as you wander along?
Hey, Brick, are we there yet?
Brick's just
Okay. Eventually, you do arrive at the dockside brothel. The energy is much more subdued. You kind of realize that there's been a bit of a hush over the city. Word travels quickly that there was an attempt on the princess's life. People are staying inside. Most of the shops seem to have been closed. The normal sound and hustle and bustle of the docks is more or less non-existent at this point. And even when you get to the brothel, There's no music being played. There's no giggling. It seems very somber. As you step inside, you see the same little goblin man. Let me find his image so I can share it to you guys again. Oop. That's not the group. That's Kayla. So you see, those of you who are familiar with him, you see Mefto behind the bar, and he looks fairly irritable. And around the room, you see various ladies and a few gentlemen. They're kind of sitting around, huddled together, whispering. And as you all step inside, they all kind of look up at you, but none of them get up and approach. They seem to be a bit skittish. And even Mefto kind of looks up from the bar and goes, "Aye, we're closed. Go find yourself some playthings elsewhere."
Rick walks right up to him. Is he at the bar?
Yes.
He sits down at the bar and just kind of looks at him. I assume you've heard what's going on today.
He kind of looks at you for a second, really hard, tilts his head, and he goes, "Oh, yeah, I've heard."
Well, I just got
Thank
done.
you, somebody got that.
Just got done talking to someone very important. And when a rat stumbles up from the sewer and bites a captain's daughter, captain might get it in his head that it's time for an extermination. But he wants to explore other avenues first, and he sends me and my friends to you.
Are you hitting on me?
Sounds like it.
DM, while he's asking this, I'm looking around. Is the Wharf Master here?
You don't see him. It's kind of hard to miss a red-headed dwarf.
You're Mefto, right?
Yeah, who else would I be? I am the one, the only, Mefto. Kasumi, make a perception check for me, please.
Okay, I do it. I'm 21.
21. You're a little distracted because you haven't seen this person before and you're trying to get a read on him. And it's around this time that you kind of glance back behind him and you definitely see Thieves' Cant around the molding of the bar. It seems very similar to the message.
You're a bitch.
It seems very similar to the Thieves Guild that you had investigated in. Struggling to remember.
What, in that other town?
Oh gosh, the ones that helped us with the Duke.
Strips.
Called me for a good
No,
time.
it was. I drew a picture. It was River Cross. We saw it on the bridge.
Thank you. I was getting to them.
I'm trying to remember if that's what his notes was.
You do see similar words inscribed, and you see again the rat rowing the dinghy.
Well, I tried to be subtle.
You see again across the top mantle in Thieves' Cant, "May the shadows always cling to you."
And also with you.
I tried to be subtle. Kasumi, you speak their language, yes?
But well, hold on. Has the Wolf Master come here today?
Ain't no one been in here for the last couple minutes, actually. Been dead
Can
as
I
a
answer?
doornail after all the commotion on the docks.
You said the made the shadow what?
Well, Kasumi would know this.
It's just bookkeeping.
For bookie keeping? May the shadows always cling to you.
Kasumi's gonna notice the Thieves' Camp and out of character. It can be like an actual like language that I can speak in like riddle and rhymes that only Thieves' Camp people can understand, correct?
Yes,
I know
it's sort of like, yeah, the way that Thieves' Cant kind of works is like the Tinker, Tailor, Soldier, Spy. Like you're saying stuff, and it sort of sounds like you're saying something, but it's kind of just gibberish. It's like, oh yeah, well, the penguin went down to the bar and got himself a loaf steak, and everyone else is like, what the fuck are you saying? But you were like, oh yeah, I nailed a bird last night with my arrow. It was awesome, from like 30 yards away.
Okay. So she's going to sit there and she's just going to shake her head and look up at this guy. And in Thieves' Cant, she's going to say, not very wise to send one of your own in broad daylight for an assassination, is it?
He kind of looks at you for a moment.
Is my captions? It's just like symbols.
Actually, yes. No, you would hear this. Like, you hear her talking nonsense, but the captions showing up in your vision is what she's actually saying. You're just like,
fuck yeah, HG!
You're just like, what the fuck?
I also love the thought of Kasumi saying something really pointed and somewhat intimidating, but everyone else just hearing absolute nonsense.
Yeah, Brick is just like cocking his head, like,
yeah, Brick, you're literally looking at Kasumi like,
look in her eyes.
What the fuck do tomatoes have to do with anything?
I know
I'm
I was
not gonna lie.
I knew I was trying to use a metaphor, but this is nonsense.
I see Thieves' Cants as like hieroglyphics, so here I am just like...
Well, now, it's only spoken words of the caption thing.
Right, no, but like, that's like, I know that it's just a random...
Yeah.
Like, a completely random thing, but it's like, my mind brings it's like hieroglyphics, like, man eats grape, throat...
Squiggle snake over ocean with staff.
Yes.
He kind of looks at you for a second, and he responds in similar gibberish. We ain't made a move on the kingdom in hundreds of years, thank you very much. If anything, we've kept this place safer. So don't you go accusing us of nothing. And, like, the rest of you are hearing this sort of back and forth randomness, and he just, like, points a knobbly finger at Kasumi, just like,
Okay, and I do apologize. My kid decided to interrupt when you were speaking.
They haven't made a move on the kingdom in hundreds of years. If anything, they've kept the kingdom safer.
She still have the note.
Yes. I mean, unless you gave it to anyone else.
She's gonna peek over at Brick, like, while holding the note down beneath the counter, and she's just gonna kind of look at it and then look at him. She's trying to visually communicate. Can you comprehend?
Mm-hmm.
She's looking at the note, and then looking at the guy, and then looking at you.
Snake on the stupid stick.
Okay.
Snake.
Then, since Brick doesn't comprehend and respond to social cues, I'm gonna roll a dice to see if she ends up showing it.
Oh, that's what you're asking. He would nod his head.
No, it's too late.
What the fuck are you doing?
You're perfect, Brick. You're fine. So.
So she's just gonna look at him. Well, the problem is, and this is still in Thieves' Cant, the problem is we have evidence to prove otherwise, and now your Thieves Guild Signa has been attached to said assassination attempt. So I feel like there's some explaining that needs to be done.
And just who the hell are you to assume and accuse such vulgar ideas?
It's not an assumption or an accusation. It's a simple question. And if you had nothing to do with it, it'd be very easy for you to explain.
All right. We had nothing to do with it.
Perception.
Someone's gonna chuckle.
Make an insight check.
Oh, insight check. Okay.
DM, when she's done making this check, I do want to ask a question. See if I can do something while this whole banter
It's the
is
same.
going on.
13.
13? He seems on the up and up. What do you want to do, Zon?
I want to send the Wharf Master message with sending. The fuck are you?
You go to cast a spell, but you begin to realize that you don't know where he is, and you don't know which direction to try to send it.
It doesn't. Yeah, it's just I have to be familiar with him.
Yes, but it's still only within like 120 feet.
It's unlimited.
Sending, not message.
Oh, sending! I'm sorry. Yeah. I thought you said message.
Sorry,
I am
I
so
said
sorry.
Sending a message. I'm sorry. I meant to say I'm
right. So
sending.
Yeah, when you say sending a message, my brain just immediately went to the message cantrip. That's my mistake.
Yeah.
And so it's like unlimited. It's like, did they change the fucking spell? Hold up.
That's a buff.
So what did you send to him?
Well, it's 25 words. That's the brothel value.
I mean, you got 20 more words. do. Where you at?
There you go.
Muffin Man.
If you're in trouble, say your location.
After a moment or two, you hear back I don't know who this is, but you'd best leave me be.
You didn't tag it with your name, Goober.
So, Kasumi.
Question.
Yes.
Actually, statement. While all this is happening and all the gibberish is going back and forth, Brick's gonna eventually get bored. It's like, okay, I've had enough of this. Are they with the guild as well? As he points to any other person in the brothel.
He kind of looks at you and looks at the ones behind you. He's like, oh, I don't know what guild you're talking about. You mean the Fisherman's Guild? I mean, we don't have a whole house guild or nothing. He's saying this very plainly.
Okay. I'm going to put this as plainly as possible. You seem to have sent an assassin after the lovely princess, and the king named you in particular to go and find out what's happening.
Do you or do you not feel bonita?
Do or do not what?
She's being silly.
Being dumb.
Okay.
It felt right.
We've got
He kind of looks at you and is like, you keep accusing me of being an assassin when I've been here all day with me. Like, you just
look.
Make
I'm not
an
accusing you of
intimidation
anything.
check.
Okay. I'm not trying to intimidate him. I'm trying to reason with the man.
I have decreed it, so it shall be.
Can I insight check him?
Yes.
19.
19?
19.
19. You get the sense that he's on the up and up about it. Nothing has seemed out of line. Nothing seemed nefarious. He finally just kind of like rolls his eyes like, alright, just shut up for a minute, you big metal bastard. And he hops down off the stool from behind the counter and he disappears. Because, I mean, he's a goblin, he's tiny. And he walks around from behind the bar. And you can see like the partition that needs to like flip up. He just right underneath it, no problem. He thumps over to a back room, throws the door open, kind of looks at you, tapping his foot, just like, come on.
I walk in.
Yeah, I'm going.
Sure. Let's go.
I go twos.
I go too, but I lean over to Hamburger and ask him a very important question.
Yes. Do you think there's a lollipop guild here?
He kind of does a
Represent
like doesn't know what you're talking about.
Lollipop guild, a lollipop guild, a lollipop
So.
guild.
You all step into the room.
Name of
He kind of shuts the door behind quite harshly.
Whoosh.
And he just, like hands on his hips and it's like, not in thieves' cant anymore. It's like, you know, I really don't appreciate you lot coming in here and throwing around accusations as if I'd been assassinating anybody.
Okay. To set the record straight, we are not.
You come into my establishment and start accusing me of shite that I haven't done. This one, he points at Kasumi. This one I actually trust. The rest of you, I don't know you. And for all I'm concerned, you're the ones who tried to assassinate the princess.
To be
So,
fair, you didn't know me.
He pounds on the wall. The paintings around the room slide open. And there are crossbows pointed within the room.
What was the name of the daughter on the letter again?
Enna. Vivienne.
Vivienne. Kasumi's just gonna look down. Which one of yours had a daughter named Vivienne?
And he looks at you and kind of furrows his brow. And he's... None of us?
He wore one of your symbols.
And he goes, Oi, Phil! And you hear from behind one of the portraits go, Yeah? What's your daughter's name again? Betsy, sir. Right, Betsy. No Vivienne.
No other men with daughters.
No. Don't think so. Oi, you lot! Well? You hear from behind another painting here. My daughter's only 2. She's safe at home.
Kasumi's gonna sigh.
Like there just sounds like pure confusion. Like they're all trained at you, but they're still answering his question. He's just like, what the fuck is happening?
Kasumi's gonna sigh and kind of look over at the group. Should I, with the letter, or not?
Yes. Well, first, let me apologize. Brick says, let me apologize. I am not an eloquently worded being. It was not my intention to accuse you of anything.
Well, you did a damn good job of it.
Apparently. A man wearing your colors and your symbol just tried to assassinate the princess. When he was disintegrated during his interrogation, the king said your name and to find you.
Well, actually, he sent the Dockmaster.
No, he said Mepto. He said the Dockmaster and Mepto.
This might help clear up the reason why we are here and the reason why we have been saying the things we're saying. And Kasumi is going to show him the letter. She's not going to hand it to him, but she's going to show it to him and hold on to the edges.
Make a dexterity saving throw.
Okay, if we want to play this game, we're going to outrogue a rogue.
It's possible. You're both rogues.
No, I know. I said we got to outrogue a rogue. And D&D Beyond just went down. Hold on.
I can...
I'm trying to refresh it. You said dexterity saving throw? Okay. Okay.
I mean, you have a +8.
That's a 19.
19? Well, he rolled a 22. So as you go to hold this out to him, he just snatches it from your hands and he holds it up. He's not like squirreling it away or anything. He literally just like took it from your hands and like held it up so he could read it.
She just glares at him.
Like, you can see his mouth kind of move like, son of a bitch. He hands it back to you. He's like,
okay,
ain't one of ours.
Well,
we don't flaunt ourselves quite so openly out in public, especially if we're doing a job.
Well, he was wearing a signa. Yes, he was wearing a signa. He was on a rooftop, and on the positive note, the king has not yet seen this letter.
On another positive note, he seemed to recognize the symbol and decided to not jump to conclusions too soon and sent us to find you to hopefully figure out what actually happened and who's framing you.
Have any of your men recently lost one of their signas?
So, you say he was wearing it. What exactly was he wearing?
Large blue tabard with your symbol. Very large. Again, a bit heavy-handed.
That ain't one of ours. We're more subtle. Tattoos, coins, earrings, things of that nature.
Do you know of which branch of the clan that he would have been from?
None of ours.
Also a large, basically, small ballista. Doesn't seem your style either.
No. So, let's get a little bit of breathing room, shall we? He kind of steps towards the back, and you see he just pushes on one of the walls, and it just hinges open, and there's stairs going down. After you lot.
Rick goes first.
Craft.
Can Zon grab one of the crossbow bolts out of the crossbow? Just take it with him for the hell of it.
As soon as you try to go grab it, the person holding it pulls it back and aims it at you instead. Like they're not just poking out of the wall; they're literally people in the walls aiming crossbows at you.
Oh, well, the way that it sounded like the crossbows were the only things poking out, and like they were hiding behind something. But
That's what we saw.
sorry.
You only really saw the I mean, you could definitely try. Do you really want to play this game?
Just go down the stairs.
Okay.
As I'm walking down the stairs, I just hear, and just like, get away, no! Ow!
Drop it. So you all head down the stairs, and it seems very familiar to the situation in Rivercross, where you go down a few flights of stairs, and there is a door with no handles on it. Kasumi, you are able to read across the top arch of it is a riddle that says, I have a tail, a head, but no legs. I am probably with you now.
Nail.
I'm not sure we can read it.
Well, and also, here's the thing: Kasumi's gonna read it, but the guy is in front of us, walking, like leading us. Correct?
Well, he opened the door and waited for you guys to go through, so technically he's at the back of the line.
Okay, so he's not up where we are right now.
Correct.
Okay, what was the riddle again?
So you have a few seconds to answer it if you want. I have a tail, a head, but no legs. I am probably with you now.
I don't know why part of me was like, seahorse! No.
What is it?
Head.
No leg.
Here, I'll even type it out so you can...
It's not hard to remember.
Well, I know, but sometimes being able to visually see it can help.
Oh,
Pretty
wait,
sure
it's
none
a
of us
fucking
are
thieves'
snack-
guild. It's a coin.
Do you say that out loud?
Yes.
With all the language?
Yes.
Oh.
I was going to say, nothing happens when you say it aloud, Brick.
Is there a coin anywhere in the room?
Not that you can see laying around.
Coin.
Is there a slot for a coin?
Money.
After a moment, you feel Mepto shoving you aside. Go, get out of the way. And he says what Brick said, but in thieves can't. And the door swings open.
Because then he just starts laughing, because I can only imagine what it sounded like besides the word coin. And Kasumi just starts laughing. It's just like, smart man.
He kind of goes,
Coin.
The ones at Rivercross were more inclusive.
What the heck does lemons have to do with any of this?
I do not know. But I
All
am
I
as
see
confused
is-
as you are.
Coin.
Yeah. Vanera is getting a very intimate insight to the ridiculousness of all of this. So he now takes the lead, and as you all pass through the door itself closes on its own. There's you can definitely hear trickling and running water. While there are torches lighting the tunnels, occasionally you will see daylight spilling through one of the grates that would lead up towards the surface. A long way up. And as you're walking along, eventually you come to another door. And upon opening this one, you see within is a large cistern. A big round room, pillared, high vaulted ceilings. And there's a fairly sizable gathering of people. And one chiefly among them that you recognize is Wharfmaster Brim. And he seems to be talking to a fair few people. And as you step inside, you hear Mefto clear his throat and he goes, I found a bit of straggler sent here by the king. And he seems to be kind of doing it in a sing-song voice, seems kind of annoyed. And you see the wharf master turn around and the three people that he's speaking to look your way. He goes, Ah. Well, interesting you were able to find your ways in here.
Well, not the first time we've had to find a thieves guild.
Kasumi is just going to repeat the Thieves Guild chant about the shadows. I don't remember it verbatim because I wasn't able to write it down. My pen's being an ass, but...
May the shadows always cling to you.
So she's going to say that in Thieves Cant and just smile.
You see the three that the wharf master was speaking to kind of blink a few times, but then they kind of grin and give you a bit of a head nod. Even the wharf master, you can kind of see most of his face is all bearded, but you see like a little bit kind of like tweak up. You can tell that he's grinning at you. He kind of waves you over. He's like, Mefto, you're good to go back up and watch the brothel again. He goes, oh great, now that I've received your permission, I'll get out of the stink. And he shuffles on by to head back.
Before he goes,
what?
As a little bit extra of apology, I flip him a platinum.
Ew! And and he catches it, opens his hand, it's already gone.
Well, that is impressive.
Nice.
Behind
You
your
see
ear.
it, now you don't.
Check
Now
behind
you
your
see
ear
it?
before you shower.
Alright. So he leaves the cistern, slams the door shut behind him. You see the wharf master, he kind of gestures you to come closer. Well, you made it this far, so what did the king want? If he sent you all the way down here, it must be something important.
I believe for the same reason you're down here, to get to the bottom of things and help how we can.
That's a fair point. You, got him unstonified and talking then, eh?
No.
Well, yes.
Yes. Then no.
Sorry, I don't follow.
Disintegration spells are nasty work when fired from an upstairs window.
Isle of Ashes.
Oh. So what you're telling me is we have no information to go off of.
Other
The
than
one subject that we could ask is dust.
Other than the fact that whoever tried to frame these lovely people is very heavy-handed and not that well.
He acts like me when I want to break things.
We found a letter.
No subtlety.
Oh.
Yes, they have no subtlety.
And what else was in the bag, Rick?
Knife, some dried meat, basically hunter's supplies.
So we found a letter that is pointing this suspect, who's no longer living, to be tied to the Thieves Guild. However, Mefto claims that it's not from the Thieves Guild here in town, and given the fact that he was traveling with dried meats, it seems that he could be from a Thieves Guild from a different town that came here specifically for this reason.
Or it could just be an imposter.
Wharfmaster and associates.
I'm writing that down. That sounds awesome.
Wharfmaster and associates.
Yeah.
I feel like we're missing a key piece of information. This plot makes absolutely no sense to me. They had 3 different opportunities now to kill the king. Unimpeded would have been fairly easy. May not have succeeded, but that disintegration spell, he was in the room, clear line of sight, nothing stopping them. So it's obviously not about the king. Or
You happen to have that note on you, would you?
Yeah, I have it, and Kasumi hands it over.
He takes it and looks it over for a moment and flips it to the back, to the front. Again, he's holding it up to the light like you had, Kasumi. Sees nothing, passes it to his compatriots. If you don't mind, we'll hang on to this and take a look and see what we can find out from it. Maybe there's something hidden within that we can't see. It is troubling.
Both
The
attempts
fiasco
were
at the
very
dinner.
public.
Right, the fiasco at the dinner. And then the princess getting skewered.
Why? What is the benefit of this marriage? Usually these things are political, or is this purely what it looks like on the surface?
So far as I'm aware, it was a bit of a love at first sight. They had a bit of a jousting match. The admiral, he wasn't aware that it was the princess, and boy, she knocked him right on his ass. I knew she was riding that day, so it was highly amusing to me, but afterwards he went to congratulate her, realized he'd been tossed about by a wee little girl. It kind of ruined his pride for a bit, but something bloomed out of that, and luckily for her, she's second-born, so she's not under any obligations such as the prince is. So
That's another thing I don't get. This seems to be some sort of scare tactic, again, very public both times, maybe some sort of destabilization, but if you really wanted to destabilize a region, no offense to the prince, very nice person, doesn't seem the leading kingly type, or at least not want to be. So what better way to destabilize a region than to kill a very good ruler and put someone in who's may not be?
Well, he may seem a bit of a aloof sort of lad on the exterior, especially in situations such as that, where he's not having to put on any sort of a front, but he's actually quite brilliant. He's been groomed for the role of taking over the kingdom since he was a lad. But, as you say, it doesn't make too much sense why the princess is being targeted.
That's what I'm saying. We're missing the why here, and I'm just wondering if you have any insight, or any of you, after all, what better way to think like a criminal than to be a criminal? No offense.
No, none taken. And even as he's saying that, the three that are kind of looking over the piece of paper, all three of them look up and go, like shake their heads like, no, I mean, he's right, and like look back at the paper again.
I have a somewhat strange but funny question, and it's probably a bit far-fetched. Does the man that the princess is marrying have any scorned ex-lovers?
The admiral. That's an interesting question. I don't get to talk to him all that much, believe it or not, considering I'm the bloody wolf master.
I know that these attacks seem to be more personal. To me, it seems it's a bit more personal, with the intent on creating a reaction from the death, because there have been public attempts. And both of these suspects were blackmailed into killing the princess with threat of taking their families' lives.
Certainly no conscience.
Speaking of, I was kind of shuffled out of the hall a bit early on. What came of that? Was it a poisoning?
Yes.
Yeah, the first night, the dinner was a poisoning.
The head chef family was being threatened. We don't know where they're being held, nor do we know where this man's daughter is being held. For all we know, they're already dead.
You kind of see the wharf master glance to his right as he hears movement, and you see two of the members just split off and go down separate tunnels.
I'm guessing that was to investigate.
Oh, you said the magic words there. You gave him a lead, something to look for. Yeah, I mean, if we knew what the poison was, we could send some to investigate that further too.
I don't know if there's anything left. I kind of taste tested it just to see if it actually was poison.
And you were waiting for what reason to? And he's like,
we were gonna try to use it. I'd give it over. We were gonna try to use it to scry sometimes physical things help on scrying to locate a person you're not familiar with.
A bit of a crapshoot, if you ask me. I don't believe in all the Fossite stuff. And he's kind of distracted looking at it and like sniffing it and kind of like recoils back and kind of goes in not quite so deep this go around. He's kind of sniffs it.
It's nasty. It was it'll put you out real quick.
It's an old smell. It's not. And he kind of passes it to one of the other three that are standing by, and they in turn take it and sniff it, and they look confused until it gets.
Do I remember the taste? Do I remember like what taste it had?
If I remember, it was weirdly high on your likability score. Vanera, did you mark that down? How well he liked it? Just because I'm curious.
In here somewhere. No.
No? Okay. Well then, we may never know.
Oh well.
It gets to the third person, and he sniffs it and kind of tilts his head. He sniffs it again. I know that smell. I think. Give me a day. I need to look into something. And he takes the vial and he takes off down one of the other side passages, and you hear the sound of a door, which is...
I like you people. Can we work with you more often?
Zon's just gonna slowly tilt his head towards Brick, being surrounded by rogues and thieves, and just look at him like, why would you ask this question?
Kasumi's
I'll
just
look right
grinning.
back at him like, you're not helping.
Kasumi's grinning ear to ear. It's my happy place.
Biases.
But that's all we have. It's like they're not even trying, to be honest.
Well,
No, think about it. They're not really trying that hard. If anything, it's almost a... They didn't really try to actually frame the Thieves Guild. They did it so heavy-handedly that it's laughable. The Bolt, while detrimental, there were plenty of magical people around, and I assume whoever has eyes on the situation knows this by now. Plus, why not use the disintegration spell in the first place? They have access to high-level magic.
What is a... How far does somebody have to be away to use this disintegration magic?
I don't know the exact distance, but I sent Mortar up there immediately. They either have access to some sort of invisibility or teleportation, because they were gone.
Why would they not just disintegrate the princess?
That's what I'm saying. It seems like almost a token effort, like they're trying to give off the appearance of really trying, but not quite hard enough.
I don't know. If I were to kill somebody, I just will kill them.
That's the only reason why I was thinking Scorn Plover. It seemed passionate but sloppy at the same time.
Was the note well written, or was it sloppy?
Very delicate.
Delicate, you thought.
But doesn't passion usually mean you want to be known? They are going through a lot of trouble and very callous means to not be known.
Well, maybe they don't want to be known that they are the person behind it, so that once she is gone, they might still have a chance to be with him.
Does anybody
thought calculating then?
Has anybody thought about just asking him if he has an ex-lover?
I just thought of the idea right now. You're more than welcome to go ask him about his love life right now.
We met, right? Like, I'm not crazy. This guy was at dinner, right?
Yeah, they met you. They were introduced to you, but you didn't talk to the Admiral or Enna.
He didn't really seem to be interested in us, did he? Like, he was...
He was kind of drunk.
You were more noticing the Wharf Master and the Prince, who were very interested in you and interacting with you. They definitely were aware and, like, acknowledged that you were, you know, there and very important, but it's kind of like you're at a friends gathering, but there's like 3 people that you haven't seen in a while, and like they're the ones that you laser focus on. You're kind of like, yeah, I'll see you tomorrow, shut up. And that sort of a vibe. Like, they were interested, but other people had your attention more.
Well, okay. Good.
You're more than welcome to go and ask the Admiral yourself. I'm sure he's probably pacing up a storm.
Yeah, there's also something else that we didn't think of. I mean, could also be somebody who is jealous of the princess. Maybe does not want to let the princess go. And if they cannot have her, then nobody will.
Is the Admiral native to this kingdom?
Oh, you said naked.
I thought I heard that too.
Native.
Is he naked right now?
Right now.
Are you pooping?
I cast Farsight!
Vanera! Scrying spell.
I don't have it.
Oh, God.
As far as I'm aware, yeah.
Do you know where he would be at this?
Judging by the fact that his fiancée had a massive hole through her chest, I would say that he's probably going to be around her.
Is that I get? But where would they go to treat her in the castle?
The infirmary.
Oh, that's sorry. I'm not too familiar with these castles.
We could just ask him if he has any known enemies in general. And then if we need to ask more specifically Scorned Lover, we can, but...
Well,
Yeah.
I'll tell you what. I need to stay here, try to keep things calm so no one gets too antsy. You lot are welcome to go and ask the Admiral yourselves.
Do any of these tunnels go to the castle?
To the castle, not directly, no. You'll need to get up to the surface first.
Oh.
Well, just be sure to tell them to lay low, because currently the guild is still under investigation.
One more thing. He was trying to escape down a very specific part of the sewers. I assume you lot know that area better than anyone else. Kasumi, could you describe exactly where he was trying to head down?
He kind of... That's actually what we were discussing before you lot got in here. He was noticed. But before they could get their hands on him, you lot took him away.
Was there anything found in that area of the sewers? Did he have a escape pack or something?
Not that we've been able to see, but we've still got quite a few out combing the city to learn more. And the more you are able to tell me, the more I'm able to tell them, the more we can look into things.
Well, I'm out of my element here. I'm gonna go talk to the prince. Or the admiral, sorry.
I'll tell him the exact spot I saw the crossbow, just in case there's anything there that the guards missed.
Send someone up to take a look. Right, so quickest way out of here, you can go back up the way you came if you like. Otherwise, you can just head down this tunnel, hang a right, left, up the ladder, circle back around, another left, up. You'll get to a cover.
You lost me at left.
Assuming you got that.
I got it.
So, is there anything else anyone wants to ask before we go on a wee little bit of a break?
If there's anything else you can think of either to send us on, you know where to find us.
Oh, yes, and if there's somebody talking to you in your head, it's most likely myself.
You know, now that you've been down here talking to me, I do realize that was you. At the time, I was a bit high-strung.
It is okay. I am not worried about it.
I'll remember for the next time. So, you lot head off. I've got more discussing. So, with that, as you all head on up to the surface, we're going to take a little bit of a break, get some refills, run to the bathroom, grab some snacks, and we'll be back in just a little bit. Don't go too far away.
I have to be so bad.
And welcome back. So, last we left off, many questions were asked. A certain individual was disintegrated with a very good roll by yours truly, which of course happens to my NPCs and not the players. They were told to seek out the wharf master at the dockside brothel, and upon entering the establishment found out that it was a front for a thieves guild. A very similar situation to Rivercross in the Untamed West. Going down below after a questionable altercation with the barman, they were reunited with Wharf Master Brim, who seemed to be in the middle of discussing the situation with some of the other members of the guild. As information was shared and traded back and forth, a few of the members darted out during the conversation to follow up on leads, fresh leads that you all had given them that had been previously unknown. Afterward, you headed back up towards the surface with the intent to seek out Admiral Grant Greyeye. So, is there anything you're looking to do as you head up to the castle?
Eat a bug.
It's a seaside place. There's plenty of bugs.
Nom.
You're all walking along, discussing things, and you just hear behind you just a little... You look and Pez
Forbidden crunching.
Oh God.
Once we get to the castle, Brick is going to keep an eye out for like a maid or one of the random servants.
Okay. So by the time you get back to the castle, go into the throne room, there's still a few guards loitering around. There's not so much the maids, but the headless suit-wearing servants.
Like an actual person. He's going to be on the lookout for a person.
Well, you had said maids, so that's why I was saying the guards are still there, but the servants are kind of headless.
Okay. Interesting. Okay, I'm just keep on keeping on unless I see what I'm looking for.
Okay.
I'm gonna ask the guard where the infirmary.
I was about to say, where are you heading?
Zon's gonna walk into the guard. We need to know where the infirmary is.
Oh, give me just a moment. And he kind of like looks around through the throne room and goes, Lieutenant! Beckons him over, and they're looking for the infirmary. I'm not to leave me post. How do you want to proceed? Fine. And he kind of just looks over at a random person, snaps his fingers to get his attention, waves him over. Go ahead, the Tempests, to the infirmary. He kind of looks at you and thinking that one of you may be hurt. He kind of misinterpreted it, but the guard snaps to and begins walking off down through the castle. In relatively short order, you are brought to a set of doors with 4 guards, 2 to a side. And as I see the other one approaching and the 5 of you behind, one of them steps forward and goes, "Business? Lieutenant told me to bring him to the infirmary." He kind of looks at the 5 of you. "Are you injured?"
No, we would like to speak with the Admiral.
"Give us a moment." And he goes and steps inside and shuts the door behind him. And the 4 remaining outside, your guide and the other 3 that are standing by the door, the 3 by the door just stood there staring at you. The other one is just staring straight ahead. Yes?
So, are there any windows in the infirmary?
You see one of the guards by the door looks towards you and nods.
May want to cover that up, or, make sure that the princess is not in view of the window.
We have it handled.
Have it?
What?
I was trying to avoid the word. As he finishes answering this particular question, the door opens, and it opens up far wider than when he had entered, and he steps to the side and... Admiral will speak with you. Just keep it quiet.
Okay.
So, you all head on inside the infirmary, and there's various beds scattered around. You see 3 or 4 of them are occupied. There's one person with their leg bound. Another one has bandage on their head. You can kind of see a silhouette of someone behind a curtain, and one of them seems to be leaning over a bed. But towards the end of the infirmary room, you see is just a ring of guards, and the Admiral is standing outside of them, looking towards you, a bit confused. Or I guess questioning sort of look as you're approaching, in a quieter voice goes, "Oi, Tempests, thank you for saving me betrothed. God said you wished to speak to me."
Does anyone else want to take point on this?
Nope, I'm dull as a pencil.
But Kasumi, you can.
Yeah, I can. She just kind of walks a little closer to the Admiral and looks at him. And so the purpose why we're here is strictly for the protection of your betrothed. We're trying to ensure that we can uncover who's to the bottom of this. We just had a couple questions to see if we can find any potential leads. And one question we did want to ask you was, do you know of any people in your past or any known enemies that you may have?
Or the princess.
Or the princess.
Enemies.
Jealous lovers.
Jealous lovers, no. Had some flings growing up in the academy, but they never got anywhere. And to be perfectly honest, they were the ones that dumped me. Enemies, apart from being out on the seas and against the kingdom, none that really stand out. I wasn't going to say anything.
Hey.
As far as she's concerned, you know how doting fathers are. They're not too keen on letting their daughters go. I thought it was a miracle he let me court her at all.
I think what we're getting at is, based on all the events, this isn't something to do with the royal line. Otherwise, you would think the king or the prince would be targeted. Your bride-to-be has currently no claim to the throne, but she seems to be the target. So we are operating currently under the assumption that this is somehow personal.
I can't thank you enough for looking into it and helping to protect her, but unfortunately, at the moment, I can't think of anything.
Let's go think.
Is she... does she have any powers of the arcane vocation?
That's a great question. I don't remember. Give me a second.
Obviously not that important then. Moving on.
Actually, now since you mention it, she's a fairly accomplished caster herself.
Whoever tried very hard to keep her assassin quiet used a very, very powerful spell to do so.
You would happen to know any powerful casters, would you? Other than Otis.
Kind of quiet again.
You're
I
quiet,
couldn't really hear that.
You and your significant other wouldn't happen to know any powerful casters other than Otis, would you?
There's Grandmaster Puck, but he very rarely leaves his tower.
Muted.
I'm being sassy.
Oh, I thought you said me. I was like, fuck, I've been talking this whole time and the stream hasn't heard me. You scared
No,
me.
you're good.
No.
Well,
You know, come to think on it, there was a span of time when the Baroness seemed to be a bit clingy to me, but I think after a bit of not showing any interest in her, she kind of let it go.
So, you wouldn't happen to have gotten any letters from her, would you?
He has to think for a second, and no, not really. To be fair, I'm not much of a writer myself. I didn't really. What's the word I'm looking for? I didn't really correspond much with Enna either, nor she I.
So,
Kind of hard to send letters when you're out on the seas.
This is true. I do quite understand that sympathy. This is Baroness that was at the dinner?
Only one I can think of that's a Baroness.
Kasumi immediately looks at Vanera and just like shares a look. The one we delivered cake to.
Now, I don't want to be pointing fingers at no one unless we've got proof, but
I can do it. I'm good at pointing fingers.
We're just trying to gather as many facts as we can. Trying to put the puzzle together.
it's the only one who comes to mind that's shown any interest in me whatsoever before the princess did.
Okay. And it was one that you didn't accept her advances, correct? Didn't give her the time of day.
She's a bit older than I am. Seemed a bit odd, and with her late husband, it just didn't feel like something I should be doing, you know?
Like Asumi. If you were to see her handwriting, would you recognize it if it would happen to have been similar to the one on the other note?
Perhaps. But I do think that helps. Any additional information that you can tell us, any additional people that could be upset about the presence of your betrothed that you can think of?
No one really comes to mind. She's a champion of the kingdom. She's repelled beasts what wandered too close. She's fantastic on a ship.
You say she's done? Is she also the magic caster?
She's been known to cast spells, aye, but she's phenomenal with a blade.
Okay. Does anyone else have any more questions for the Admiral?
Nope.
Brick's gonna snap his finger and Mortar's gonna appear on his shoulder.
Oh.
Just a little bit of extra pair of eyes, and Mortar's gonna hop to like her bedside and hop up onto like the head of her bed and just, you know what to do. And Mortar's gonna and just
Well,
and Mortar's gonna stay with the princess until I say otherwise.
Okay. If anything else comes to mind, Admiral, you know where to find us. We'll just continue our investigation.
Well,
Wait, does he know where to? Do you know where to find us?
I've
gonna
heard
be
of
out and
you,
about
you've
the
got
castle.
that interesting wagon outside of Ferns.
Oh yes, that's very I would be.
The only other thing I can think of to mention is after this attempt on Princess Enna, the king has temporarily postponed the wedding. All the dignitaries have gone home.
Okay.
Including
Or
the
they
Emperor.
will be soon, anyways.
The Emperor was the only one to arrive, yes?
Apologies, I mean Lord and Lady Mailglen, the Baroness herself. What's his nuts? Looks over Potter eyes. Sorry, he's a bit of a tool. There was word that maybe Welter Watch would be sending a dignitary over as a gesture of good faith, but So far as I'm aware, they haven't sent any word yet.
That's the neighboring kingdom, yes?
Aye.
How are relations?
Back and forth. We have just decent trade. But, you know how kingdoms can be. One person sees something as a slight and it snowballs. At the moment, we're at peace with them.
Might be something to look into. Well,
If there was any more information I could give, I would.
Well, if there any... well, like... Is it better than staying in the castle?
Oh, sorry.
What's...
No, she would have been staying as I stall for time. The fuck is it? Nope, that's not it. I know I have it, I just don't remember what the fuck I called the place. Alright, hold on, I'm gonna have to go to my map, because apparently I don't have it labeled correctly. Oh, I do remember what it's called. The Billowing Sails.
And that would be fair.
Oh no, the Dancing Sails.
And that would be fair.
Dancing Sails, you had to have passed it coming from your wagon at Ferns.
And that's where she stayed when she was in town for the dinner, correct?
That's where all the dignitaries stay.
Okay.
Except maybe the Emperor. He might be put
And-
up in a little bit more high class.
And you said that they were, if not already gone, in the process of going back, correct?
They were told that that would be advised. It's possible some of them may stay.
Okay. That's a good heading. At least a place to continue our investigation.
Do let me know what you find out if you can. And if there's anything else I can help you with, just say the word.
As
Thank
we start walking out, I turn to the more religious members of our group. It might be time to try to get some definitive answers from on high.
Mm-hmm.
At
I
least
can
rule
try.
out, at least rule out or confirm a few theories. Just maybe something along the lines of, are they actually trying to kill her? Or I don't know. We need to come up with a few things to ask, but I feel like we need a few questions definitively answered because we're going off of guesswork right now.
And we're headed out, correct, at the moment? We're moving.
If you guys are heading
Are
out,
we?
where are you heading off to?
So, Kazumi is, if no one else has moved, she's already going to start walking out of the infirmary.
Yeah, I'm walking out just kind of... Actually... Should we make a stop by Otis?
Or?
Again, very powerful spell. Otis might have some insight. Other than that,
I mean,
also might want to get a look at his handwriting.
the last time we were there, it wasn't.
You're a bit quiet, Vanera.
Yeah, I know. Like, the last time we were there, it was different.
What do you mean?
Otis is the weird guy, right?
No, Otis is the bird.
Owlin.
Oh, I'm
Owlin.
sorry. I was thinking of
Oscar is the nutcase.
Oscar. Okay.
Yeah.
that was it. Sorry. I heard the O and I'm just like, yep.
What time is it about now?
I don't think it's I don't think Otis
It's
has
about
anything to do with
mid-afternoon.
it, but
The sun is beginning to make its journey.
again, really fucking powerful spell.
So
I want to find this place that they're staying at.
Yeah. To me, that is my main priority. I know I was joking about the scorned lover being a lead, but who knows? Maybe.
I still want to write up some questions and rule out some stuff, see if the gods know anything.
I would be more than happy to ask Valkyrie, but I do not know what she may be.
Ow. Okay. Let's see. First question.
So I'm assuming you guys are walking and talking, but where is your current destination? Are you going to the wagon? Are you trying to find the dancing
We can split up.
sails?
I know that's not fun for the DM, but we have a couple of different things we want to try.
My concern is with the news, if we want to have any possibility of questioning the Baroness, the sooner may be better, unless she's already gone.
Okay.
I mean, because if there is a woman who could possibly be responsible for this and has been alerted to leave, I wouldn't see why she wouldn't, unless she wanted to physically witness the death of the princess.
That I would also be careful about questioning her.
Remind me again. Is this Inna or Emma?
Enna.
Enna.
Inna.
Emma's the cute one that works at Ferns.
Yeah, right. She's the youngest, correct?
Yes. She is the half-elf. The others appear to be human.
It would also be worrisome if we do question her. It would put the air of the suspicion that she is being suspected of something. So it may also be more prudent to spy on her.
Well, yes, but we could also question other dignitaries there to make it seem just like we are doing our due diligence. I mean, people who were present in an assassination attempt should be expected to be questioned.
Zon, what divination spells do you have? Or what divination spell would you be using? Because I need to look at the rules.
Divination.
Okay.
Like,
there's a couple of different ones. I just didn't know which one you liked best.
that's the only one I have access to.
Really? I thought you had access to a couple.
DM, I would like to question some guards on the way out and ask if there's this place that we have been told about, maybe.
Divination, that takes 10 minutes to cast? Or is it instant?
1 second, I'll find it again.
As I'm
take
writing stuff down myself.
1 action. Casting time, 1 action.
Okay. Let me look at the spell real quick, just because I
know
of
get,
it. I'm not.
You don't get commune until 5th level, or 5th level spells. That's a single question.
Okay, so a goal, an event, or an activity to occur within 7 days. So, what is your question?
Am I going ahead and asking?
Are you?
Well, I was wanting to communicate. I was wanting to
right.
talk
Sorry, you were
about-
telling that. Okay,
I wanted to talk.
mistake.
I wanted to spitball. Okay, what are some good questions we can ask that could maybe point us in a right direction?
Will the Baroness make another attempt on the princess's life within the 7 days if she recovers?
Well, there's too many variables in that question. 1, we don't know if it's the Baroness. 2, we don't know if they're actually trying to kill her or just scare her. 3, there's too many variables there.
Mm-hmm.
Old the mustard or extra mustard?
I like his question better. Well, as I have once said, where are the guards? I need to know where this place is.
as you're walking out, you're able to just like grab him by the elbow and be like, "Where is it?"
Where is it?
It's a very simple question, and he points in the direction you're going. Once you leave out the castle gates, it's the only building on your left. You really can't miss it.
Thank you.
Wait a minute, this is not a yes or no question, right?
You ask a single question concerning a specific goal, event, or activity to occur within 7 days. I can give you a short phrase, a rhyme, or an omen.
We could just ask why. Why is the princess being targeted?
Well,
does a DM, like, maybe, but
you have to ask about a specific goal, event, or activity that's going to occur within 7 days.
It's going to occur within 7 days.
She's going to get assassinated again.
Is there going to be another attempt on the princess's life? And then, how many times can you cast this? And how many times do you want to cast this? I guess is the question I should be asking.
I can cast it 3 times, but if I do it before a long rest, there's a chance they'll just get a random reading.
I guess
the DM rolls this in secret, but I know Ian's rolls. I don't trust him.
I guess we could ask: Is there going to be another attempt on the Princess Inna's life? I guess that should be the first thing we ask, right? Or can I get some input?
Is Anna the target of the assassination attempt?
She just got a bolt through the chest!
Is she the target, though?
That is a good point.
It has to be something going for. It has to be in a way of going forward, not.
Is Princess Inna going to be a target of an assassination, of another assassination attempt?
I have the ability to ask Sensei a specific, very specific, pointed yes or no question, but I can't guarantee it's going to work. And I can only do it once a day.
Doesn't hurt to try.
I mean, you could be. Are they trying to actually kill the princess?
Well, so you said that mine has too many variables. So if Kasumi can ask a very specific question, if we can rule out the Baroness, that would make our other questions very easy. So
that's true.
We can ask. She can ask if possibly the Baroness is one behind the assassination.
Is the Baroness involved in the assassination attempts?
Okay, that would be a great question. But first, does someone have 2 bones they could give me?
Well, I mean, if
Looks
I
like
was,
hamburger.
Oh, that's right, because your last one's burnt up, didn't they?
Does?
No, they're in the cart.
No, we can go to the cart.
The cart's right there.
Gestures down the road.
As you are all outside of the castle, you see a very large, very extravagant building that you've seen multiple times. It's been there, you just didn't know what it was. And it is the Dancing Sail Inn. And I mean, like, it is, like, ritzy. And then,
right
of
there,
course,
the
just,
right
like, straight ahead is the gate leading out of the Royal District into the Cobble District, and on the right of that is Fern's Cafe and your big-ass mobile home.
Okay. Well, if we want to go do that, we should do it now and quickly.
All right, let's go.
Okay.
Going home.
Kasumi uses action. Bonus action.
Yes.
Zoom! Okay, so at the very least, I know Kasumi is going back to the wagon. Are you all going there as well? Are you splitting up and doing something in the meantime? What's the full plan here?
I'm going with her. I want to find out the answer to this question.
Okay.
Are you all going to be huddled behind me at my altar?
Like we're all just peeking inside the doorway, Scooby-Doo style.
You're doing the the Scooby-Doo heads in the doorway.
If you need help, or I don't know if us helping can give you a better outcome, obviously, your 2 clerics are probably more than willing to help. But I don't know if that actually would help.
Do you have the materials to perform this spell?
Me?
Yes.
The last time
I got some
I think
incense if you need it.
No, she doesn't. She doesn't.
It's
Hold on.
bones that she needs.
I know.
Potentially
I will
needs.
go buy some bones. I got
I
19
wrote it
platinum and a
down.
dream.
Listen, all I'm saying is that, material cost
Right.
items for higher level
Right.
spells, I'm going to be requiring you guys to have those versus cantrips and first level shit. Who the fuck cares?
Also, I'm really sad
have-
no one responded to that.
Well,
I have 4 left. Wrote it in my notebook. I have 4 left from when I was rummaging through the clearing when we got the cart. Because I used a lot for the last time.
that was a long time ago.
Well, I didn't do too many big ones, but the last
No.
one I used quite a few.
I hope
have
that none
4
of those
bones.
bones are kelpie or jaws.
Well, if they are, they serve a good purpose.
No, I mostly looked around the cave.
So,
Anyways.
what is your question?
Okay, so Kasumi's gonna get her 2 bones, and she's gonna kind of light her little fire, get in the zone, meditate, and she's gonna hold the bones and ask Shenshay, was the Baroness involved in either of the assassination attempts against the princess? And then she's gonna toss the bones into the fire.
No, Camber, stay that. No, those aren't for fetch.
This is not the time to fetch. You all Scooby-Dooing in the hallway see Kasumi prepping her ritual in front of her beautifully sculpted Shenshay altar, and asks her question, tosses them into the flames. You hear the cracking, the snapping. The runes etched into them flare bright, and you see this reddish sort of haze seep through the etchings themselves, curling and coiling in with the smoke, and it begins to resemble a similar shape to a winding dragon, and you get the sense that this ethereal entity is angry, and there's 2 little pinpricks of light where the eyes should be, almost like embers, and they flash, coils and roils around in the air as if it is just incredibly angry, either at the question or the answer to the question. And you get a sense that, yes.
Okay. But like, could you see Kasumi looking at this, and for a second she seems almost scared?
It's
like,
that there is a bit of fear at first, like, how dare you ask this question? Then you realize, no, this is the yes.
Okay. I'm gonna roll my d8 to see what the spell did to me. I got a 2.
A 2.
You get it on your tail, but it's on your finger.
Worm on a string.
So it is a bit unfortunate, but the anger that is seeping from the question as Shenshay looks into this matter for you and sees that something so cruel is happening to someone that just truly does not deserve. It leaches into you unintentionally. It's just that emotion is just so powerful. And you just, as the wisp of the dragon finally evaporates and goes higher and higher through the hallway, and then eventually leaks out through the general airflow out above the window behind the altar, you just feel exhausted by the ordeal.
Okay.
But
I thought you were gonna say angry, but
Kasumi,
yeah.
Kasumi doesn't say a word during this process. Like, all you guys see is the display of fires and the exchange of energy, and then Kasumi almost, since she's on her knees, she almost collapsed forward, with both palms pressed into the ground, and she just seems deflated. But just under, like, a very breathy whisper, she says, "I knew it." And then she looks over and she's like, "The Baroness."
Well, I'm machine enough to admit when I was wrong.
Sorry.
Hey, what were you wrong
What
about?
was the question that you asked Sensei again?
Was the Baroness involved in either of the assassination attempts against the princess?
So we don't know if she's the ringleader, but she is involved.
Kayla's gonna have a fucking encyclopedia of everything that's happened,
I
and I am
know.
all about it. Oh my god. Jesus! You've written almost more than me.
Do you have any of my pesisms?
Okay, Zon, we got a culprit. Now we need a motive. Can you ask why the princess is...
Nine. That will not work.
Why not?
Because we don't know when it's going to happen.
One, because it is not a goal.
Yeah.
Two, I figured the better question to ask it might just be, will she try to contact somebody in the next few days to do something else?
Yeah. Also, we need to let's let the sneaky people do the sneaky things. Do we want to contact the Thieves Guild to let them know, hey, compare handwriting with the Baroness?
Because you feel Kasumi's sigh, and she's still, like, on the ground.
Oh, I meant to say before, I'm a help fox lady up.
Okay, and she seems a little wobbly and just very off, very physically off.
What was the effect of the spell again?
You can share
I
it if you
have
like.
disadvantage on all dexterity checks and attacks, including weapons that are efficient in dexterity.
Damn.
Zod will help Kasumi up. I will take you to the bed.
The ordeal was physically draining.
Yeah.
Okay.
And that lasts until a long rest, correct? It doesn't say in here, but I'm assuming that's
disadvantage
until a
on
long.
dex ability checks until a long rest is taken. Is what it says.
Oh, it says it there. Just kidding. I can't read.
So we have culprit, but I'm pretty sure that most people are not going to take the word of a scrying, a divination spell of contacting the gods. We need to establish.
I mean, I am from Rokazine. I could just go and kill her.
That really, while that is normally how we do stuff, yes.
No.
This is pretty high profile.
I did not say all of us. I just said me.
Well, what about Mr. the Coyote?
What about him?
Would he be able to help?
In what sense?
It's not his territory.
Let's see. It's the last time that we encountered him. He said that this was out of his zone of expertise.
Okay. What do we want to do first? Do we want to ask another god another question, or do we want to contact the Thieves Guild and tell them, hey, compare handwriting or something else?
Instead of comparing handwriting, where we already have the answer on that one, obviously compares the handwriting, yes, but why don't you ask the Thieves Guild to hail her or to spy on her? Since they are
too.
much
We can ask them
better.
to do all the above.
Wait a minute. I have the ability to tell people this.
That's what I'm saying.
Vanera, you feel a little tug on your elbow.
Oh god.
You look behind you, and Grandmaster Puck is standing there. He's holding out a little plate with cookies on it.
Oh. Huh. Hello, Grandmaster Puck.
Did you see this?
Hi. How you doing?
Well, you do now that he's spoken up.
He's a crazy wizard.
What the fuck?
She takes the cookies.
Oh. Can I take one back?
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you were giving the whole plate to us. She hands him back the plate.
Oh, well, you came to get... Wait, where am I?
Grandmaster Puck, you're in our wagon.
You have a wagon?
We do.
Oh, that's cool.
Would you like the grand tour?
No, I thought you were just here for the cookies. Wait, this isn't my living room. Would you like cookies?
How did he? Pardon my rudeness. How did you get in here?
Oh,
It's not
what do you
like we have
think?
it in.
And he disappears
Oh,
again.
It's not like we have it enchanted.
He would
Keep people
he
out.
would be so useful if he was sane.
I was trying to ask him a question, but then Zon scared him away.
Zon's just gonna yell at the top of his lungs. Grandmaster Black!
No reply.
Of course, he attached himself to Vanera.
You don't see if that's just a problem.
Bitch! What
She
the fuck
went
is that
to
supposed
visit
to
him,
mean?
sir.
And didn't invite us.
No, I was on a date, asshole.
Vage, you were dating Zold man?
No.
It's little white chocolate
No.
macadamia nut with almonds in
Vanera.
it.
What?
It's little white chocolate macadamia with almonds in it.
Ow.
I'll take it if you don't want it.
Yeah, she kind of splits it in half and just nibbles because it's a cookie and why not, and then gives the rest of Hez.
So, Vanilla, what about
God,
Zold
it's a
man
nice
interests you? I mean, he seems very nice, but like...
I went
doesn't
with
really seem-
Otis.
So you and Otis are both dating him?
No. You're being obtuse on purpose.
You're being obtuse.
On purpose, no less.
On purpose.
On purpose. No. If you must know, Otis and I went to go see Grandmaster Puck because there is some issues going on, as you know, with the magic, with the gods, and we were hoping to get some better ideas about what else or what could have initiated this change. I don't know if you've seen out in the bay, but there's a floating thing out there. It's pretty cool, but when the whole magic fiasco thing was happening, like, it became not sentient, but it was dormant, and now it's awake.
Active?
So as you are looking for active?
I mean, it's just awake. It's awake. It's spewing water.
Yeah.
It's awake.
Yeah, I believe Otis told us that.
Yeah.
And
You
you
guys
didn't
seem
invite
to-
us.
Well, Zon seemed to have forgotten, so
Okay.
Anyway. Again, what's first?
Well, I could ask...
nice long breast.
Listen,
Yes.
I would like nothing like it. I would like nothing more than to go in and murder. That is what I do. That is my profession. But we could always ask if she will try to get in contact with somebody, catch her from the god, or is anyone of the mind that has a better question to ask, as it has a will happen in the next 7 days condition? Taking our questions. Going once.
Where or where and when will the next assassination attempt be?
Mm,
Don't think.
Or will there be any more assassination attempts?
well, technically, I do think that technically is something that can be asked. I don't know what kind of.
Well, it's a specific goal, event, or activity that will occur within 7 days. So
So an assassination attempt is technically an event or activity.
you
I
would
don't
also
really
need
wanna
to
ask
know that it was going to happen within 7 days.
That's exactly the point that I'm making. Is like I don't know if that's going to happen in 7 days. I mean, to be fair, the two were pretty close together.
Again, we could just go with, hey, Thieves Guild, that person.
Well, yeah, if we're going to do that as well. But Vanera, did you started to say something? Did you have another idea for a question?
No, I'm just like I can attune back to my notebook and send the long letter so we don't have to waste sending and be limited to 25
words, we can actually get out what we need to get out.
That is fair.
Do we want to tell the king anything?
I trust the king, but not the lion.
I'm just meaning I'm a little... Normally I'd be all for telling the king, hey, we think we know who it is, but we also don't have, like, concrete evidence.
Vanera, your Book of Sending does not require attunement to use.
My book?
The Book of Sending. I think
I'm
you're thinking
talking
of the detective's notebook.
Yeah, I'm talking about the detective's notebook. I don't have a book of sending.
The little dragon dude.
Yeah. You're talking about
That's
sending the messages with the pages. That's the Book of Sending.
Yeah,
You
2
don't-
books!
Yeah, you
Oh,
don't
there
need
it
to
is.
you don't need to attune to the Book of Sending.
Here it is. Strange. Don't mind me.
That's just making sure that you're attuning to the items that you actually mean to attune to, that's all.
Yes.
Well, I got a question once a day, so I will ask a god a question. I have been nice. I wonder if what is the god? Kadal? Is Kadal the god? Kadal's the god of this.
I believe so, yes.
Wow.
It's also a pompous asshole.
I don't necessarily think that is a true statement. So I would have believed that at the very beginning.
For all you know, Grandmaster Puck could be Kadal.
Oh my god.
And you hated his cookies.
Oh my god.
With the way this campaign has been going, where the gods are getting revealed, I would not be surprised at this point.
Oh my god.
You just
Ian's
blew-
like, write that down. Write that down. That's a great plot twist. Write that down.
No, I'm writing down for thumbnails where everyone's like, fuck!
Well, I'm going to go ask a question real quick, since
Have at it. I don't know.
I'm going to
Phrase
ask
it
the
however
questions
you
that
want.
I
don't know
want
what
to.
put. Do it. Go for it.
So,
What spell
Yeah,
are you
DM.
using and what are you asking?
divination.
Okay.
And it's still open-ended, but I'm gonna ask it anyways.
Anyways.
That's right. There's no like limit to the question itself specifically. Like how many words? Sorry.
Correct.
Yeah. I'm gonna ask Kadal. Will the Baroness attempt to assassinate the princess again, or make an attempt on her life? Make an attempt on her life or assassinate in the next 7 days. I need to mark something.
That is a goal.
You take your time in the hallway. Well, actually, it only takes an action. So you cast the spell and ask your question. And there's a short pause. And the window behind Shenshei's shrine begins to flap in a very strong wind. And as the wind blows in through the hallway, all of you hear a kind of deep, wispy voice that seems to kind of like, no.
So you cut out for like all of
No.
that? No, okay. Thank
What
you?
What if the goal has already been met?
I was also kind of towing the line of what the spell should really be capable of answering.
It's fine.
But what if her goal has already been met? She got the wedding to be postponed at least.
Wait.
Is it postponed?
I
Yeah.
have an idea. What if we were to lie?
And
What if-
say...
What if we go to whatever this fancy inn place is again, and lie and go to her door and say we are going door to door, saying that the wedding's back on. We were asked by the king to tell everyone.
We could just tell the king to falsely. We could just ask the king to lie himself and say that the wedding's back on and not mean it. As a see if it draws anyone out. And then we could have another public setting where we have someone disguised as the princess, so that way she's not in danger.
Does that sound like a what would be a plausible plan? Well, I mean, I'm gonna say yes if nobody else does.
You're wanting someone to be disguised as the princess?
In some public set. Again, these assassinations have been at least somewhat public. It needs to be a public setting.
And once we make this the falsification, if we have somebody posted up outside this Baroness's room, so if she does send out a letter or a
the Baroness is not gonna blatantly do it herself. She's gonna
pass a note.
Yeah.
And guess what? We have an assassination guild that's very good at stealing shit.
So the plan currently is get the king to announce the wedding's back on, have the Thieves Guild watch her every move, and go from there. And plan some sort of event where she will be seen publicly. That would be the perfect chance for another assassination attempt.
Well, I mean, if we catch her giving a letter to somebody,
I'm just covering all the bases.
Oh yes, obviously. But if we can catch her in the act of sending out the letters, and
well, again, public setting. She specifically got someone to do it at a public setting. So until she knows where and when to do it, she's not going to do it. Theoretically.
Yes, but I mean, after that is determined, then we.
Yeah, but shall we take this to the king?
My problem with this plan is even though I have the ability to disguise myself, I'd rather not put myself on a pedestal to be a target for death.
What?
So
Why not?
So are there any other what is the
like Zon said, hopefully it doesn't even get that far. Hopefully we intercept whatever message or conniving thing she does.
But there's still very much a chance. And I don't know if I'm willing to take that. The princess seems like a very nice lady, but
that's not this. Is there other spells that can disguise people?
Yeah, can you disguise me?
You're too tall.
Hi.
I'll crouch.
You're too short. She looks at Zon.
How am I too short?
And there's no one that's just right.
I look at Vanera. You're our healer. No.
Well, I mean, to be fair, if anyone is to be hurt, I mean, she's the first one that can heal herself. I don't like the idea, but at the same time, anybody can be disguised as, so it doesn't have to be one of us.
Yes, but
true.
Their height does not change.
Okay, so if he finds,
how tall are they?
It could be one of the servants for all we care.
Yes.
But then that's putting a servant in the risk of possibly dying.
You mean one of the headless servants that don't really?
No. I'm not quite sure that spell would work on that type of being.
Have you tried?
Let's just take this to the king first and go from there, shall we?
Yes, I like.
Can I stay here?
First,
Do we want to take a long rest first?
I do not feel well enough to be of any help out.
Well, let's get the Thieves Guild on her tail first and then go from there. How about that?
I can just send a letter.
That's what I mean.
Same difference.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So, Vanera will be sending a letter to the Thieves Guild. You can type that out to me if you want, and I'll transcribe it later on. Anyone else wanting to do anything before taking a long rest?
Eat a bug.
That's Magnus. Going to go.
I believe you left Magnus with Fern.
Yes.
Same
And
with
Apollo.
Apollo?
And Apollo.
Okay. So you go collect them?
I just want to just check on him, get him.
Okay. It is getting on into the evening. There's no one outside of his place, but you are able to knock, and he greets you. You gather your companions. I'm assuming you may let him know, or do you let him know anything?
Who?
Fern.
Is there anybody? There's nobody to overhear anything we're talking about nearby, is there?
It appears to just be Fern. From the days that you guys have spent there, it seems that his cafe is a morning to like just before lunch kind of establishment.
Okay.
Brunch.
Are you guys comfortable with
That's the word,
filling
thank you.
him loosely in with what we're doing?
He might be able to give some good insight.
Yeah, sure.
Or he could be a double agent.
I will kill him. God damn it, Nim. Why the hell would you tell him this? Fucking Nim. Yeah, let's loosely fill him in with what's going on. Don't have to give like any of the bloody details, but like.
Do you let him know that about the Baroness, or do you just kind of tell him what's generally happening?
We are a group. What do you guys think?
I'd say tell him that we have a lead.
We have a suspect, and we're going to let the Thieves Guild tail them and do some investigating, which is what they do best.
Yes.
Well, you lot are getting along pretty nicely, it seems. Getting your hands dipped in everyone's sort of pies, ain't ya? Well,
Pie.
keep yourself safe. You are able to come and see me whenever you need to via your pantry. Just let me know if I can help.
Did Magnus behave himself?
Oh, he was grand. He liked to chew on things, but he can't really seem to hurt nothing.
Yes, he is adorable.
What about Apollo?
I may need a new chair. However, I shall keep that one. He seemed to only chew on that one, that specific chair. So I will keep that if I ever have to babysit him again. It's that one over there. And he points, and you see, like, where a four-legged chair used to be, it's 3.
Which chair leg is it though?
It's the front right one.
Oh, okay.
So long as you don't go TPTP this way, you're fine. Well, again, good luck. Good night. I'm always available if you need to chat. Usually.
Thank you.
So, you all go down for a long rest?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
And,
As we go down, Brick will just kind of look at Zahn. It's like, the one thing I can't figure out, though, motive.
Vanera, who are you sending your message to?
Let's go with Grandmaster or Wharfmaster Brim.
Wharfmaster?
Or do you want it going to Efto?
The goblin with the chin.
Probably. Wharfmaster, maybe?
I would say Wharfmaster.
I mean, he's gonna probably show it to everybody. So, I mean, ultimately, I don't really think it matters that much.
Okay.
What would you like to say?
What is your favorite color?
Like
What is the
everything
capital
that
of Assyria?
we've gone over.
Are you giving him everything?
Are we giving him everything?
How about I would suggest something along the lines of, we have a suspicion that it is the Baroness, but we need concrete evidence. Please compare her handwriting with the note and tail her. Something along that line.
And keep track of any mail she may send out of her room.
That too. Sound good?
That is what I said.
So,
Yeah.
strong assumption Baroness, compare handwriting, intercept any letters.
And tail.
Oh, and tail. Okay. That it?
I got.
Cool. As you all discuss what Vaneras to write to send to Wharfmaster Brim, you all go to your various rooms under the table in Pez's instance, and you all begin contemplating and looking back on the events that had happened, and sleep is a little bit evasive for some of you. Kasumi probably passed right the fuck out. But with everything that has happened and everything that you've experienced, people you've spoken to, you're all now level 10. As we begin another adventure into who knows what, as you pursue these odd leads and strange circumstances. So, with that, thank you all for joining us on this interesting session of asking questions and hunting down facts and clues. And we will be back for this campaign in 2 weeks. No, that's not until April, so we're good. So we'll be back with this campaign in 2 weeks. Hopefully, next Friday, we'll be on Zeke's campaign with Storm King's Chaos. So join us for that. And again, if you haven't already, join the Discord. Links down below in the description. Pretty much plastered everywhere that we have anything. You're more than welcome to join us, hang out, chat, play other games with us. So, since everyone is absolutely knackered and ready for bed, good night, have a great weekend. We'll see you the next time we go live. Good night, everybody.
Goodbye.
Good night.
Thank you for listening to the Fools and Flagons podcast. If you enjoy our adventures, you can catch us live on Twitch at twitch.tv/foolsandflagons. That's fools, the letter N, flagons, all one word. If you want to hang out with the fools and other nerds, come join our Discord. The links can be found in the description.